Because somewhere in the 1960s, while supersonic jets screamed across the sky at twice the speed of sound, there was another aircraft, slow, loud, leaking oil, circling patiently overhead, carrying more bombs than the World War II heavy bomber, outturning jet fighters, and, on at least one occasion, dropping a toilet on the enemy. Most stories have another side. This one's just a little stranger. I'm Bill, and this is Buffalo Airpark. Let's dive in. Picture a U.S. Navy carrier deck in the early days of the Cold War. Sleek jets everywhere, the future of air combat. And, sitting right among them, this big, round-nosed, propeller-driven brute that looks like it missed World War II by about 10 minutes. That was the Douglas A-1 Skyraider, nicknamed the Spad, like the old World War I biplanes, because that's exactly what it looked like next to a jet. But here's the thing, this relic was about to embarrass the future. The Skyraider was born in 1944, designed by Ed Heinemann, a man obsessed with one thing, weight. Legend has it, he sketched the concept in a hotel room in Washington, D.C., then stripped over 1,800 pounds out of the design just by simplifying it. No complicated bomb bays, no unnecessary structure. Instead, he gave it 15 external hardpoints and said, essentially, hang everything on the outside. And that decision changed everything. Because now, this single airplane could carry 8,000 pounds of ordnance. That's more than a B-17 Flying Fortress, a 4-engine heavy bomber with a crew of 10. At one point, it lifted over 14,000 pounds, an airplane carrying more than its own weight in weapons. That's when the troops gave it the name, the Flying Dump Truck. And then came the humor. During the Korean War, a Navy officer joked to reporters, "We drop everything on them, but the kitchen sink." So naturally, the ground crew made it happen. They strapped an actual porcelain sink to a bomb and dropped it on Pyongyang. Now, fast forward to Vietnam. Jets had taken over. Fast, powerful, advanced. But they had one big problem, fuel. Most jets could stay over a target maybe 30 minutes. The Skyraider, up to 10 hours. And that changed everything. Because that's what the Skyraider did. It stayed. Remember the kitchen sink? The Vietnam crews decided to top it. In 1965, Commander Clarence Stoddard celebrated a milestone mission by carrying a toilet. They bolted fins to it, added a fuse, named it Santa Flush, and dropped it on the enemy. A forward air controller later said, it whistled all the way down. Now, here's where things get ridiculous. Because this slow, propeller-driven aircraft shot down jets, specifically the MiG-17, two Skyraiders cruising along at about 170 knots suddenly found themselves facing supersonic jets. One pilot later said, "We look like Tweety Bird to Sylvester the cat." So what did they do? They dove low. The MiGs came in fast, too fast. They overshot again and again because the Skyraider could turn tighter, fly slower, and stay in the fight. And, in that chaos, a propeller plane lined up a jet and shot it out of the sky. But none of that is why pilots loved it. The Skyraider's real legacy was rescue. If you were shot down in Vietnam, and you heard that deep radial engine overhead, you knew you had a chance. They flew under the call sign, Sandy. Their job was simple. Find the survivor, protect the helicopters, get them home, because every one of those takeoffs might be going into hell. Their tactics? Insane. They called it trolling for fire. They'd fly low, slow, basically daring the enemy to shoot at them just to reveal their position. And once they did, 4 Skyraiders would rotate in constant attack pattern, dropping bombs, rockets, napalm, until nothing was left to threaten the rescue. 2 pilots took that mission even further. Bernard Fisher. In 1966, Major Bernard Fisher saw a downed pilot trapped on a battlefield. Enemy forces closing in. Rescue helicopter? Still 30 minutes out. So Fisher said, "I'm going in." He landed, under fire, on a damaged strip surrounded by enemy troops. Picked up the pilot, literally pulled him into the cockpit, and took off, with bullet holes in the aircraft. William Jones III. Then, in 1968, Lieutenant Colonel William A. Jones III was hit. His cockpit caught fire. His radios were destroyed. He was severely burned, and still, he flew 90 miles back to base because he was the only one who knew where the downed pilot was, and he refused to let that man be lost. The Skyraider wasn't supposed to last. It was outdated the day it flew, and yet it stayed in service into the 1980s, outliving many of the jets that replaced it. It was loud, slow, unstoppable, and it became the spiritual predecessor to another aircraft you probably know, the Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt II. One rescued jet pilot once said, "The Skyraider is the second prettiest airplane in the world, because right behind it comes the helicopter that takes you home." And that tells you everything you need to know. And that wraps up another tale from aviation's stranger side. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.